The following is a presentation of the Missouri Sports Network.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to High School Game Day here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow. Also presented by Central Bank of the Ozarks, with locations around Missouri and other states as well. Member FDIC. We go north to Lee Summit West High School. We welcome in head volleyball coach Jennifer Morgan. Coach Morgan, thanks so much for your time today.
Of course. Glad to be here.
Coach, 21-11 a year ago, Class 5 District 7 champions. Tell us a little bit about that team and what you're having to replace due to graduation off of that team, and who maybe are some of the young ladies stepping into those roles.
Yeah, we had a really solid season last year. 11 losses sounds like a lot, but we played multiple very strong teams multiple times. I had 7 seniors last year. 6 of them are going on to play in college. So we've lost some talent, and that class was really strong for us. Since they were freshmen, they were contributing on a varsity level. So we do have some shoes to fill. Our libero graduated. Our 6th rotation outside, who's been a starter for a while, also, just our go-to kid graduated. But we do have some youth. Our setter and our middles are all young, and they already have experience. And so that's great. We've got our outside junior, Tori Massengale, back. She's been on varsity since she was a freshman. So we do have some talent coming back, and starters that have some experience that are young, which is great. Jalen Jordan is coming back. She ran half of the 6'2" last year, and as a freshman, and she did a great job, and just super athletic kid. So, we're looking forward to seeing what these young athletes can do.
Very good. And again, guy who come alongside Kent Mueller from Playing on Sports. We're visiting with Lee Summit West head volleyball coach Jennifer Morgan. And Coach, what's the summer been like? How often do you guys get in the gym? Obviously, this is a dead week right now, but what's your summer been like, and what's the attendance been like?
Summer's been pretty busy. We get our 20 contact days, and we do a summer league here in Lee Summit at Lee Summit North, and saw some good competition. Gave us an opportunity. We have 6 seniors coming up, and gave us a chance to kind of let everyone, have some opportunities. We went to KU team camp, and again, it was really a great team camp. They had a lot of teams that we don't see. They had Bentonville and Bennington from Omaha, and just some different teams that we don't get to face, which I think is a good test for us. And pretty successful overall. We're going to try and run fast tempo this year. That's going to be our thing. So ball control and that tempo.
Very good. And Coach, as I understand it, you're in your 10th year there at Lee Summit West. Give the folks, the viewers, just an idea of your background, how you arrived there, and obviously you've been there 10 years.
Yep. I started coaching right during my college years in South Dakota. I played at University of South Dakota, and I started coaching there when I was a sophomore, and really have been across the gamut. I've started with middle school. I've done JV. I was the graduate assistant at Northwest Missouri State, and got some good experience there and some good connections. A lot of my former players there are now local coaches, which is awesome. And then I started out at Fort Osage and was a varsity assistant, and then a varsity coach there for 2 years. And then having kids, varsity is just so time consuming. I went ahead and kind of backed off, but I love coaching. So I've never stopped coaching. I coached middle school for 13 years and loved the middle school. And when my children went into school, they had the opening at West, and the athletic director called me. He said, "It's time." And I said, I'll give it a shot. So, and I've been here, like I said, going on 10 years and just enjoying it. Coaching the girls and the boys side has just been really awesome.
Coach, if you could get in a time machine, go back to that young Coach Morgan at South Dakota State, based on what you know right now as a head varsity coach, what advice would you go back and give that young lady knowing what you know right now?
That's a really good question. Just to enjoy the moments that you have with those athletes, and that it's bigger than just volleyball. I'm still connected to, the volleyball world is just so interconnected, and wherever I go, I see people I either coached or I coach their kid. I've coached against them now, and I love when the former athletes that I've had still love the game, and they love it enough to coach. I think we just need to do what we can to get more coaches that are passionate about the sport and have a patience for the sport. So, yeah, I just
Coming
say
into this season. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut
no,
you off.
just building those relationships with our athletes and just continuing to build them as they become adults is pretty fun.
Coming into this season, the 25-26 season, the defending district champion, has your schedule changed at all based on what you did last year? And I know it doesn't look like it's completely full yet, just looking at it on the Misha site, but has it changed, and if so, how?
We always start out playing at St. James in the Slam since I've been here, which has been wonderful that we have that experience, and we face someone that we don't usually face. We're seeing Olathe West this year for that, which will be great. I mean, it's all tough teams. So, and then we're still going to go down to Eureka, which is just a nice round robin, and they kind of pair you up with teams that you wouldn't normally see on the other side of the state, which is a great opportunity for the girls. MoCan is our normal. We'll reseed that and we'll see different teams there. And we did get out of the Aquinas round robin because we were facing a lot of the same teams that we already played. And so we wanted to see some different teams. So we're going into the Lee Summit North round robin. And I think like Kickapoo and Nixa, Ozark, some of those teams from the middle of Missouri are coming up. And so hopefully we'll get to see them instead. And then the rest of our season is pretty much conference, just because our conference has gotten bigger and we play everybody twice. So we don't have a lot of wiggle room in there, unfortunately. But the tournaments and those selections that we've been trying to make there have been pretty solid and give us great challenges and know what we need to work on as we move forward in the season.
And Coach, tell us a little bit about your conference. As I understand it, it kind of changes maybe year to year or maybe every 2 years when they do the new count. Tell us who the members of your conference are and kind of handicap it a little bit.
We've got Blue Springs and Blue Springs South. Both of them are well coached, solid teams. They bring some good experience back in. We've got Liberty North, and they'll have new coaching up there, but they're always a good program. Lee Summit North, crosstown rivalries always are good matches. We'll do our Dig for the Cure match with Lee Summit North again this season. And then we've got Ray Peck, and they've got some good returners, and Sammy Williams, which so she's stepping into that role as head coach. And I actually coached her at Fort Osage before she went on to be an All-American, 2-time All-American at Pitt State. So that'll be fun competing against her. But yeah, I think I got everybody from our conference. It's a good conference.
Well, it kicks off for real on Monday. Then you go into a jamboree. Do you know where and who's involved in your jamboree?
Yep. The 26th of August will be our jamboree at Lee Summit, and we will jamboree with Lee Summit and Lee Summit North.
Outstanding. As you start off on Monday, going from that date on the 11th to the 26th, what are some goals that you have in mind? Where do you want to be on the 26th outside of staying healthy? Obviously, that's every coach I've talked to in the last 2 weeks. Well, we just want to be healthy when we get to the jamboree. What are some of the other goals maybe that you have?
We'll set up some team meetings before then and set up some team covenants. I think culture is super important, and it's the girls' team. I'm just kind of here, guiding them. But I want them to have, we talk about if someone comes in the gym and watches you practice or watches you play, what would they say about you? Like, what stands out about you? I want the girls to dictate that. Like, what kind of team are you going to be? And so we'll meet that and set those kind of guidelines before we go into competing. Volleyball wise, I'm always a big fan of ball control, and who can control the ball and who can run an effective offense. Last year we did a pretty good job. They know our free ball plays, our girls do. And since we have most of those kids coming back, I think we'll just step right into where we left off last year and hopefully continue.
Give us an idea of your excitement level. I know the football coaches I've talked to, they've been, chomping at the bit because this is a dead week, but they're so excited about getting started. What's it like for Coach Jennifer Morgan?
During the summer, you miss kids here and there. They're on vacation or if they're, out of town or whatnot. I'm really excited to see, who shows up for tryouts, who is bought in, what improvements have they made. And just, I'm ready to just see how they look as a team because, as we've gone through the summer, you see some pieces, but I haven't seen all those pieces together. So I'm really excited to see what those pieces look like and how they fit together. We have some pretty versatile pins, so it'll be fun to kind of play around with where they will end up when we are competing.
Outstanding. Again, guy who come alongside Kent Mueller from Playing on Sports here as we visit with the Lee Summit West head volleyball coach Jennifer Morgan. And Jennifer, I know Kent's got a question or two for you. Go ahead, Kent.
Well, Jennifer, your program has produced a lot of collegiate talent, as have a lot of programs around throughout Missouri and on into Kansas. And the area is well known for producing much more talent than what you would expect from the population level. And a fair amount of that talent goes out of state. And there are some really good programs, collegiate programs, coast to coast. But we have universities here too. What do you see them catching up and able to build their programs so that they can compete with the best talent from Missouri to keep some of that home?
I do. And I feel like obviously a big draw is winning. And I think MU and KU and Creighton, especially those three in this area, have really been stepping up their game. I feel like, and there have been some coaching changes. We went to the KU team camp this year and met the new coaches that came in from Oregon, and they're different. They do things differently, and I'm excited to see what that's going to look like. I know we do send some kids from our area to KU and MU and Creighton. It would be nice to see more, K-State and more surrounding teams. But the more they win, the bigger the draw will be. Of course, Nebraska, Wisconsin, those types they're still in the area. They just have that bigger tradition of going to the Final Fours and competing at that super high level. So I think as MU and KU and Creighton, and as they increase their winning, I think that is a big draw. And kids like to stay sort of close to home, closer to their family. So I do think that is a draw also for some of them.
How do you work with the girls on your team, the ones who want to go on to play in college? What do you tell them how to prepare themselves and to navigate that whole recruiting process? Because it's not just, the athletic side, it's the academic side and finding not necessarily the best volleyball school, but the best fit for them.
Yeah, there's so many components to recruiting, and a lot of them have, from their club side, they have a recruiting coordinator and they have some assistants there, which is great. We work with our counselors and make sure that they've gone through like the clearinghouse and make sure that they are doing the appropriate steps. And then starting young, when they're freshmen and sophomores, compiling that list of schools that they're interested in. And then we use Huddle, which is a great tool. You can do recruiting on Huddle. You can make your clips. So anything that we can do with the kids, again, when we sit down and do meetings, that's one of our goals, is to talk about that. schools that they're looking at. And really, as a coach, as a coaching staff, we try to be honest with them. If they're setting their sights on schools that are a little bit out of their reach, we also try to, teach them, there's a lot of really great Division II schools, really great NAIA schools. Stay really open-minded, because if you love the sport and you want to compete, there's a lot of very good places to do that. Everyone doesn't have to go play Division I just to be a successful volleyball player.
I really appreciate you saying that, because I see too many athletes just focusing on Division I or a very small group of schools, and they should go where they can play and where they want to play and where they're going to have a good time with the sport that they've learned to love.
Absolutely.
Coach, and again, visiting with Coach Jennifer Morgan from Lee Summit West. Coach, I've got 2 questions left. One is, this is Friday. What are you doing between today and Monday? And what time do you guys tip it up?
Well, tomorrow's my anniversary, so I'm going to take tomorrow off from volleyball, and I actually am heading up to Park University. My oldest son is committed to playing volleyball there, and so he has orientation and starts classes Monday. So I'm going to be a mom and a wife on Saturday, and then we spent this week. We met with our coaching staff and kind of mapped out. We have our tryout forms and kind of revamped a little bit and talked about our game plan with our staff. So we're fairly prepared. We start at 3:00 on Monday. This week is always a tough week going through cuts and just being aware of, trying to give the kids the best opportunity to show off their skills. But it is a fun time and an exciting time. So I'm looking forward to the week starting and hitting the ground running.
And my last question here, and I am a mandated reporter for the Missouri State Highway Patrol. So do you always wear your seatbelt?
Absolutely.
Very good.
Every time.
Well, Coach, again, it's been a pleasure. I know this is the second time that we've had you on the Missouri Sports Network. And again, like I mentioned before the show, to become a friend of the show, you have to come on 3 times. So we're going to have to get you back on here during the season, maybe bring some ladies on with you.
Absolutely. Anytime.
Very good. Very good. You're watching the High School Game Day here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage, presented by the Bank of Billings. Bank of Billings established 1889, the oldest bank in Christian County. Back after this.
Things are a little tight for Terrence right now. But they won't be for long, because Central Bank makes it easier for customers like Terrence to dream bigger.
More room would be nice.
With mortgage solutions that can open the door to more space.
That's what I'm talking about.
For his growing family.
Growing family?
Honey, guess what?